we're going to move on to a silver project in Peru, the Curibaya. But it's tier 1 silvers. I'm really happy to be joined by Peter Dembicki. Peter brings over 10 years of corporate finance and wealth management experience, dealing with high net worth individuals, corporations, and institutional clientele. He was a member of Canaccord Genuity. He structured and oversaw many multi-million-dollar private and public and bought deal financings in the mining sector. Now he's bringing all that experience to tier 1. We're looking forward to hearing all about it. Peter, how are you doing and where are you joining us from today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, Anthony. And I'm joining you from Vancouver. So it's a pleasure to be a part of the conference here.
Fantastic. You know, you're only the second one from Vancouver. Normally we have a preponderance of people from Vancouver. So I'm glad you're at least here to double the amount from the beautiful city of Vancouver. Well, I do understand it's a bit of a gloomy day there. Is it still a bit gray outside in Vancouver?
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's a metaphor for the industry, but it is a little overcast and happy to be one of the survivors from Vancouver out of these markets right now. But no, the weather has been spectacular. I think we're making up for a pretty lousy start to the summer out here, but it's been beautiful.
Fantastic. All right, Peter, tell us all about what tier 1 is up to. I'm handing the mic and the camera over to you.
Excellent. Well, I'm hoping everyone can see my slideshow okay. So again, I'm Peter Dembicki, President and CEO of Tier 1 Silver. Tier 1 Silver is an aggressive exploration company focused on finding the next world-class discoveries with our assets based in Peru, with a focus on silver, gold, copper, and more metals as the exploration continues to come through our story here. I will be making some forward-looking statements, so this is our regular disclaimer. You know, anytime you're investing in the junior mining spot, it has to be an investment into people. Have management, have leadership, has a technical team provided multiple exits for shareholders throughout their history. And in the case of Tier 1 Silver, our founders, Sean Wallace, Ivan Bebic, they have done just that, you know, with massive returns for shareholders in their past couple of projects. So here we are once again with these founders coming up with Tier 1 Silver, which was formerly a spin out of Orin Resources from a couple of years ago. And it certainly looks like we're on the right track to putting another notch on their belt. But really, what I hang my hat on with my capital markets expertise, with our founders hang their hat on, is really our technical team. You know, led by Christian Rios, former SVP of exploration at Bear Creek, has had multiple silver discoveries under his belt as well. So there's no better person to be leading our charge down in Peru and with operations. And we have a robust advisory and technical team to back it up. So really, we have all the pieces. I'm sure your audience is well aware why we love silver. It's that perfect commodity. You know, it has all the characteristics that we know of gold: safe storage, hedge against inflation, protection against dilution of currency, but all the use cases of copper. We know that the silver is needed more in the future. It's the first time in years that demand has outstripped supply, and we think that's only going to get greater and greater with the emergence of this green revolution. We also know that silver is the biggest performer when precious metals go on a bull run. They've done it 9 times out of 10 of the last times gold's gone on a run, and we know the power of silver. We've seen it even as recently as last summer. So here we are in Peru. We have 2 premier projects in this country that is so mineral rich, the largest reserves of silver in the world, second largest producer of copper in the world. So we're really fortunate to be here and have countrymen on the ground there leading us and guiding us in our way and finding these excellent projects. But really the focus is Curibaya. You know, a few years ago, we sent out our technical team to find us the #1 precious metals target in all of Peru. And ironically, it landed us right on this prolific copper porphyry belt in southern Peru that's home to the giants that we know of in the industry: Cerro Verde, Cajone, Tocopala, Quellaveco. There's a gap in the system where Curibaya landed, and then they start up again in northern Chile. So whatever geological occurrence happened around 57 million years ago, Curibaya was part of that. And it's only gotten more exciting as we've taken more layers off the top. We went out and acquired 17,000 hectares. All the majors in and around us that you want to see in this area are taking a keen interest in our projects. And of course, we're within 40 kilometers of Tocopala and Quellaveco, which has recently come online into production. So anytime you're starting off on a never before explored project or a property, you want to get some sort of geological indication that there's something there, looking for smoke. But in our case, when our first samples came back, we got grades that you've never seen before. Silver samples up to 300,000 grams per ton silver, up to 1 kilo in gold. 78 plus samples over 1,000 grams per ton silver bonanza grade, and over 2.5 grams per ton gold, concentrated over a 20 square kilometer footprint. So that gave us the confidence to go out and progress the project into channel sampling and trenching, where we validated those grades, 6 kilos, 12 kilos, larger intercepts of 20 meters of 300 grams per ton silver. But really the focus was the grade, the footprint, and how are we going to go out and prove this. So again, last summer, we commenced our first phase of drilling. We did 5,000 meters over 16 holes in this Curabaya area. And within our first 6 holes, got our first bonanza grade intercept, followed it up with 2 economic grade holes. And on our last hole of the entire campaign, came up with our best intercept of 1.5 meters of 1.2 kilos. So huge sigh of relief. We were able to replicate the grades subsurface, but I think everyone knows we need to find that game-changing hit. What is that width that replicates that grade that's going to put us truly on the map as a world-class silver system? So we went out and hired 2 world-renowned experts, consultants, to fly down over the winter, do a site visit and say, hey, are we on the right track? Or do we just love this thing and we love it so much that we want to progress it? Both of them came back and said, you guys are on the right track. All of your top intercepts came around 1,900 meters in elevation, but this is a story of erosion. There is something driving this silver system up to surface. And as you go higher on your property, as you go north, there's 500 more meters of elevation that has preserved silver system in there that has not been eroded. This is your #1 target to go after, and this is where you're going to get your best intercepts. We recently came out in the news with some further Curabaya channel samples from this Kambaya zone with that higher elevation, and it confirmed our thesis. The arsenic is present. The grades are there. It shows that the silver system is going to be below. So we're going to attack that in our upcoming next drill program. The second thing these consultants came back with was, we're not sure if you guys were so focused on the silver, but there is every indication that there is a huge copper porphyry lurking right below or nearby your system. So think about this. We have the complete system, the only known complete system in southern Peru that has the epithermal precious metal system preserved on top with a copper porphyry target below. This is the geologist dream. This is the management dream that everyone wants to see out of this project. So what started off as a silver focused project is now this base metal story driving it from underneath. We're currently doing geophysics to really determine targeting on this porphyry, but we have multiple silver targets to go after in our next drill program. And of course, we want to save a few thousand meters to go test this porphyry of what could be a real game changer and put us on the map. If anything were to occur at Curabaya, we really want to see that something is amenable to happening here. Located 45 minutes off the Pan American Highway, close to 2 deep water ports on the coast that service all of those giants to our northwest. Hour-and-a-half drive to the city of Tacna, 300,000 people. Most importantly, no agriculture, no residents, no archaeology problems. And most importantly of all of these is one community. We have one community that we act and treat truly as partners in this project. They love us being there. They understand the economic implications if something were to occur at Curabaya. So this couldn't be set up any better for us. And it truly is a great place to work in these desert foothills with very little vegetation or environmental impacts. So again, the address, where are we located? We're located amongst the giants of South America. The scale of our property, the grade, of course, is bonanza grades that are just emanating out of everywhere. We have so many targets to test, but most notably the silver and the copper porphyry to test upcoming. And if you know our group, we know that we never put all our eggs in one basket. We always have a second project. And this one is Hurricane. We acquired this from a private group called Pembroke in Peru last year. And what we knew out of their gates on this one was the exploration techniques that the company had used with our Newmont background and our Newmont geologists on our team. We were familiar with the blegging and the stream sediments. So we went out there. This is a big district, 30,000 hectares with over 13 different targets on here. But what we did get was social access late last year to a part of Hurricane and Magdalena that had really encouraging silver channel samples and chip samples, kilo plus veins that were channel sampled. So we went in there with the 2 weeks that we had, and we were able to replicate those historic channel samples and chip samples. So now we know we got veins outcropping on surface, artisanal mining shafts going a few hundred meters into ground. At one point, someone was really mining some high-grade silver in this area. So we have our team up there currently doing channel sampling, chip sampling, mapping, really trying to get our hands and heads around, what we've got here and how we're going to target this thing if we're going to bring a drill to this. What is really encouraging is what's happened over the last couple of months. We got access to a northern area of hurricane called San Cipriano and Nanahuayco that did have historical drilling on it. And it truly was out of this world kind of numbers. 14 meters of close to 5.5% copper equivalent with copper, but most notably and most intriguing and something that has caught the eye of many of the majors in the area because it is not normal is the amount of nickel that we have uncovered here. 0.62% nickel at this property as well with these drill holes. So the extreme copper, nickel, cobalt, platinum, palladium, these are systems that are commonly found in Brazil or Russia. We know the Norilsk mine in Russia. These systems as sills can span for kilometers. So the fact that we're uncovering this with more mapping, channel sampling coming in live times, our eyes are wide open on this property to really feel what we've come across. So much like Curibaya, what started off as silver focused only and a silver direction turned into a base metal story. The same with Hurricane. Silver, 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 and now this base metal, battery metal play has come into play with these extreme grades. So I don't know of any other companies out there that have so many opportunities within their individual projects, and each one of these opportunities could be that next world-class swing. So we have the properties, we have the technical ability, we have the team that's done it time and time again, and management and founders that are there to guide us along. It truly is a great setup. So what's to come? More results coming from our channel sampling, mapping, geophysics. Results will be coming in throughout the fall, but obviously the focus is to get a drill program going at Curibaya. We also trade very closely with the price of silver, which is great when silver is turned on, because as we've seen what happens when silver can rip over $30 per ounce. When we came to the market just last June, our share price rocketed to $1.90 per share. It just shows the power of silver and what's there. Since then, we've obviously tracked the price of silver down to where it is today, and it's been tough on everyone in the industry, not ourselves. Unfortunately, as I say, no matter what my mother tells me, we're not special. You can look across the board and see so many opportunities out there, but I truly like the opportunities that Tier 1 has to offer. We have just shy of 140 million shares out, and as of recently, just around $4 million in the treasury to continue operations. So a truly exciting story. I lose sleep at night thinking about all the possibilities and what could happen at Curibaya in an upcoming drill program, because we really think that we got it there.
Excellent, Peter. Fantastic. Really interesting stuff here. I mean, especially as you're looking for silver, and then in both cases you move to base metals and battery metal opportunities. Tell us what your gut says at this point. What are you more excited about, the original silver thesis or the evolving base metal battery metals thesis?
I know it's like asking you who your favorite kid is, but it's like I just we came firing out of the gates on all cylinders with the silver, and so my heart is still there. But I understand the economic implications for a company if we hit that porphyry at Curibaya. I mean, we're right in that district that has those massive 4 billion, 1 billion, 2 billion ton big monsters that we know of Cerro Verde and Tocopala, Quelebecos, and they start up again in northern Chile. So, from what all the majors have told us, they've been looking in this area for years, trying to find that next big copper porphyry, that huge open pit mine. And the fact that we might have it, well, which is the cherry on top? Is it the silver or is it the copper porphyry here? I'm not sure, but to have that complete system is it's really cool.
Well, Alain in our audience agrees with the silver part. He says silver is the pathfinder, so he's cheering you on that sense. Just time for one quick one here. In terms of investor reaction here, how has the reception been to Hurricane? We often see this in the market. You got a junior investors sometimes want you to focus on one project. Is Hurricane complicating the story, or how is that being received?
it's funny because we're constantly battling what silo we fit in, and it almost seems like, well, if you're silver, you got to go silver. And the ironic part of what we've been dealing with is when we first spun out of Orin Resources, we were called Tier 1 Metals, and then the silver started, grades started coming in, the focus started coming in. We're like, this is a natural fit. We caught that wave and it went incredibly. But now with these base metals stories coming in, it sure looks a lot more diversified. So what's the investment community thinking? I think obviously they just they want to see success either way. What are the majors saying? What are the big funds saying when we sit down with them? Basically, they get to pick and choose what they have an interest in and focus on that. And because silver focused investments and majors have that silver, they want to see more silver, but they're like, wait a second, you got copper and nickel in Peru, like no one's ever seen that before. What do you got here? So it's super intriguing, and it really raises eyebrows.
Excellent. Yeah, this is one to watch. And coming out of that Orin team with Ivan Bebic and the crew there, proven team, proven track record, and on to something really exciting here. So we'll be watching it, Peter, closely from the Northern Miners perspective. We wish you continued success, and let's see where this one goes.
Thanks a lot, Anthony. Thanks for having me.
Cheers, Peter. Have a great rest of the day.
Thank you.